Self-destruct sequence activated.
Today on Body Slammed, I'm going to get really real with you. I challenged us to do that last week, and that's what we're going to do. I told you back at the beginning that I was going to take you on a journey, and that means good parts and bad parts. And this is kind of where I'm really struggling in my life right now. 10 years ago, I was all about the church that I was in. Big church, corporate church. And before you start sending me comments about how wrong I am for feeling the way I feel and how the church is only the group of believers, not a building, I understand all of that. I promise I do. So please understand my heart as I just share with you how I feel and what I'm struggling with. Now, 10 years later, I don't wear the ties anymore. You know, I wear the necklace. By the way, this is a 45 record adapter. This is a little plastic piece that you would snap in the middle of a 45 to make it fit a turntable. It's not one of those pyramid Illuminati things or some goofy something that people may mistake it for. But I wear these now. I wear t-shirts with Vikings on them, and I have tattoos, you know, and I'm a lot different, not only in style, but, you know, when Peter, after Jesus was crucified, Peter kind of went back to what he knew. He started going fishing again. Whenever I got out of the church, I kind of went back to what I knew. I grew up a metalhead. And now that I'm older and I went back to being just an old metalhead, you know, I really did. And I love it. I love that kind of music, and I love that kind of crowd, the camaraderie of the community. And that's who I am. However, I'm so different now. You know, back then I could stand up and preach before 1,000 people, and it was no problem for me whatsoever. And I did it a lot. Now I share a story with you. I went to a church a week ago, last Sunday. And as I went into this church, I purposefully wanted to go with my family to this place, to this meeting, because my kids were all here and my wife was off from work, and I wanted us to go as a family. So we went. Very different kind of church. It meets in an old factory warehouse, and that's a good thing. It's got a different feel to it, and I was happy with that. But you know, sitting in there, even though they didn't even pass a plate, they didn't. Even though they didn't have the welcome time where people all come at me, you know, and I feel like I'm getting claustrophobia. Sitting in there, you know, I noticed my pulse racing. I could hear my heart beating in my ears, and I'm looking over my shoulder, and even though there was no choir loft, there's, you know, nothing like that there, I'm still thinking about what it was like, you know, whenever I went through what I did whenever I was wounded like I was. And a lot of you may be thinking, Scott, just get over it. But I want you to know that whenever you come through that, and some of you know exactly what I'm talking about, you come through that and you've been burned, there's a lot of healing that has to take place. And some of that is just by facing your fear. And that's what I kind of did, I guess. I sat there, I faced it, and I noticed that my heart was pounding, and I'm kind of thinking, you know, okay, where's the catch? What's going on? You know, what's going to happen to me here? You know, wondering if people are looking at me and what the thoughts they're thinking about me are, and you know, all the stupid things that the devil tries to put into your mind. But you know, even Pastor Bob this past week talked to us about leaving the past in the past. And I want to do that, but I have to be very honest and real with you whenever I tell you it's hard. It's a struggle for me to want to go back and to want to dip my feet back into that pool again. It's tough, and it's not something that I'm getting over right away and that I've got mastered. It's not something, and some of you know how I feel. I'm probably a whole lot more comfortable sitting with a group of friends at a Starbucks and opening my Bible and just reading and learning there. But because of my family, I'm trying. And I'm going to keep trying. And eventually I'm going to get over this. I will. I love you guys so much. And let's just continue this week until I talk to you again next week. Let's just give them hell.